Namaste and welcome to Mindfully Yoga. My name is Ryan. Welcome to your 30-minute full body yoga flow practice. Before we start the practice, please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel Mindfully Yoga, as your support provides me the motivation to continue doing what I'm doing and share my love of yoga with the rest of the world. So let's get started. Just starting a little bit differently today. We're going to start our practice in child's pose. To begin with, come into all fours. Align your wrists below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Bring the big toes to touch. Take your knees as wide as the mat. Then we're going to sit back with our hips onto our heels, and then walk the hands forward. Lower your forehead to the ground. Once you arrive here, soften through the shoulders. Soften through your forearms. And then let your hands soften. Notice the texture of the mat against your fingertips. Notice the wear and tear of the mat. Or if the mat is relatively new, notice the newness of your mat. And now notice the texture of the tops of your feet and other exposed parts of the body. Notice how the mat feels as we ground ourselves down into the present moment. And now becoming aware of the body. Notice if there's any aches, pains, or tightness in the body, or any tension. With the next exhalation, let it all go. Bring awareness to your breath. Notice your inhales and exhales. Maybe the belly is brushing against your inner thigh. Two more deep breaths here. And now lifting your head, walking your hands to the left side. Maybe place the right palm on top of the left and let the forehead sink towards the mat again. Notice the stretch in the side body. Lift your head, walk the hands to the other side, placing the left palm on top of the right and then lowering down. Now slowly come back to center and then back to all fours. Wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. We're going to now bring the knees together and tuck our toes. Sitting back, taking your glutes on top of your heels. Place your hands onto your thighs. And now stretch the toes out. So looking after the little pinky toes, and then stretching the toes out. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Look down on the mat or straight ahead. One more breath here. Now lean forward, place your hands on the mat. I'll face you for this one. Untuck the toes and sit back with your glutes on your heels. Or you can sit cross-legged. Right hand comes out on the fingertips. Left hand goes up and over. Now you're welcome to walk the right hand further away, placing the right palm on the ground. Soften to the right elbow towards your right hip, and then peel open the left shoulder, rotating the gaze towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Let's windmill the hands to the other side. Left fingertips out, right hand up and over. You can place the left palm onto the ground, maybe soften the elbow towards your hip. Peel open the right shoulder, gaze goes towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Now slowly spring back to center and then meet me in all fours. Coming onto your hands and your knees. This time, knees at hip width distance, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Few rounds of cat-cow here. On the inhale, lower the belly. On the exhale, round the upper back. So you're welcome to close your eyes if it feels good. Noticing especially the tilting of the pelvis. One more round here. And now coming back to center. Let's thread the needle. On the inhale, left hand to the sky. On the exhale, left hand under the right armpit. Left ear, left shoulder to the mat. Invitation to walk your right hand straight towards the top edge of the mat. Or you can take a half bind, wrap the right hand around the left hip. Placing the right palm back down, unthread the needle. Take your left hand towards the sky. Return the left hand to the mat. On the inhale, right hand reaches towards the sky now. On the exhale, thread the needle. Right ear, right shoulder to the mat. Again, you're welcome to walk the left hand forward, or you can choose to wrap the left hand around the right hip. Both options are welcome and they're okay. One more breath here. Return back, left palm next to the face. Right hand reaches towards the sky. Come back to all fours. So readjust and realign. Again, we want the wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Supported side plank now. Place the right foot outside. Stretch the left leg to the back of the mat. Left toes pointing to the right side, and the right wrist and the shoulder in one line. From here, we take the left hand and extend it towards the ceiling. Now you can stay here, or you can begin to lift the left leg off the mat. Maybe bend the left knee, grab hold the left foot with the left hand. Left heel to the left glute, yawn open the left shoulder. Look up towards the sky. And now slowly release, come back to all fours. We want to return our knees and our toes onto the mat. Take your left foot outside this time, and the right foot goes to the back. My right foot's outside the mat now. If that's you, that's okay. That way we are aligned and having a similar experience. Option here to hover the right leg off the mat. Maybe bend the knee, grab hold of the foot with the hand. Yawn open the right shoulder as you put the heel to the glute. One more breath here. Now release and then come back to all fours. Readjust and realign. One round of cat-cow. On the inhale, lower the belly towards the ground. On the exhale, round the upper back. Let's now go into downward facing dog. So walk your hands half a palm length forward, tuck your toes, and transition to downward facing dog. Once you arrive in downward facing dog, making sure that our hands are engaged and the finger knuckles press into the mat. Spread the fingers out wide and then begin to push your ribs towards your thighs. Gaze towards the back of the room or the space you are in, or looking towards your navel. Walk your feet to your hands into a forward fold. Once we arrive here, hold on to the opposite elbows in a ragdoll and then sway from side to side. You're welcome to bring a bend in the knees if that feels okay to do so. And noticing the lengthening of the lower back and the hamstrings. And now come back to center. Go into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Glide your hands on your shins. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Hands go towards the sky. On the exhale, hands to heart center as we fold all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Let's step back to a high plank. And then going to our chaturanga. For this, you can drop the knees to the mat if you need to. Cobra or upward facing dog. Your choice of back bend will meet in downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet. Meet me at the back of the mat. Come into forward fold. Let's go into ragdoll again. Hold on to the opposite elbows. Let the head hang heavy. And then just a gentle sway from side to side here. Release into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Glide your hands on your shin. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Hands go towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center as we fold all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Let's walk our hands now towards the front into a high plank. And then go through our flow, chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog will meet in downward facing dog. Two more breaths here. On the inhale, take your right leg towards the sky. On the exhale, place the right foot behind the right wrist. We're going to turn the back foot at a 45-degree angle and then come to rise, going to warrior one. So hands will go towards the sky, keeping this right knee above the right ankle and lifting and reaching with our hands towards the ceiling. Now grip that mat with the back foot. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward, square the hips. And now let's draw the lower belly in. Let's draw our rib cage in to just engage the core here. Begin to interlace the hands behind the lower back. Place the right thumb on top of the left. Inhale, shoulder blades seek each other. Exhale, bow forward to humble warrior. Bring the right shoulder inside the right knee and let the crown of the head descend towards the floor. We're going to look towards the big toe of the back foot or towards the back of the mat. One more breath here. Release, straighten the front knee, go to triangle. Right hand in front of the right shin, left hand towards the sky. So it's not compulsory for the right hand to reach the floor. It's much more important that your left shoulder is not collapsing. So if you need to come a little bit higher, you can come up higher as well. And think of the crown of the head going towards the front. One more breath here. Now look to the top edge of the mat, bend the front knee, place the right hand in front of the right foot, left leg will lift to half moon. Yawn the left hip open, left toes point to the left side. You can even look to the left side of the room if that's available to you, otherwise looking down on the floor. One more breath here. Now return the left foot on the mat towards the front of the mat. Go into forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Hands go towards the sky. On the exhale, hands to heart center as we fold all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Step back to high plank. And then take your flow, chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog. We will meet in downward facing dog. Well done. Good job. Now, on the inhale, left leg to the sky. On the exhale, left foot behind the left wrist. Turn the back foot in at a 45-degree angle. Come to rise. High lunge. Sorry, warrior one. I was just thinking, because I said high lunge because I was about to talk about the difference between high lunge and warrior one. So warrior one is a slightly shorter stance and the feet are more apart in a hip width distance. And the left knee is on the left ankle. That's the same for both of them. And in high lunge, the back heel is lifted, whereas in this one it's grounded. So left hip back, right hip forward. Draw the ribs in, draw the lower belly in. One more breath here. Hands interlace behind the lower back. Left thumb on top of the right. On the inhale, shoulder blades seek each other. On the exhale, bow forward to humble warrior. Bring the left shoulder inside the left knee. Let the finger knuckles go towards the sky. And let the crown of the head lower towards the ground. Looking towards the back of the mat or the big toe of the back foot. On the inhale, straighten the front knee. On the exhale, release to triangle. Left hand in front of the left shin. Right hand reaches towards the sky. Crown of the head going towards the front of the room and pressing the entirety of the right foot into the mat. Two more breaths here. Look to the top edge of the mat, bend the front knee, right leg lifts off the mat, half moon. Yawn, open the right toes and let them face to the right side. Stack the right hip on top of the left. One more breath here. And now transition to a forward fold. Place the right foot next to the left. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Hands go towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center as we fold all the way down. So bring your feet to hip width. If you put your two fists together and place them between your feet, that's your hip width distance. Forward fold, generous bend in the knees, fingertips on the mat. We're going to take the left foot, step it to the back of the mat in a lunge, and then straighten the front knee to pyramid pose. So in pyramid, sometimes the hands may not reach the floor. In that case, you can use your blocks if you're using them at home, or you can place your hands on your shin. When we do place the hands on the shin, we want to be making sure that we are pressing the big toe of the front foot into the mat. And then softening through the upper body, folding the head towards the leg. Bend the front knee and step the left foot forward to meet the right foot. Let's take the right foot and step it to the back of the mat. Come into a lunge on this side and then straighten the left knee. So if you are like me, living in a tight body, the legs are further away from each other so that we can achieve that straightness and the depth with our pose. Otherwise, bringing the feet in slightly and then straightening the knees. If I do that, my hands lift away from the earth. So for my body, it is better to have a longer distance between my legs. Now bend the front knee and meet me in downward facing dog. Place the left foot back to meet the right. And then plug the palms into the earth. We're going to go into pigeon pose. So on the inhale, take your right leg towards the sky. On the exhale, place the right knee behind the right wrist. Untuck the toes on the back leg. Gaze straight ahead. Now you're welcome to stay upright. That's your first option. Second option is to come onto your forearms. And you might be able to go deeper by making cushion with 2 fists for your forehead. Or folding all the way down, placing the forehead on the mat. Now slowly coming back up to center, tuck the toes on the back leg, lift the back knee, pull the right knee into the chest, and then step back to downward facing dog. Repeating on the other side, inhale left leg to the sky, exhale left knee behind the left wrist, untuck the right toes. Now staying upright, that's your first option. Or like we did on the other side, you can try different options. Going into your forearms, placing your forearms on the mat, or making cushion with 2 fists for your forehead. Alternatively, walking your hands forward, letting the forehead arrive on the mat. Slowly come back up. Shift the weight onto the left hip and then sweep both legs towards the front. So as we bring both legs towards the front, placing the right foot inside the left thigh. Hands reach up on the inhale. On the exhale, navel to spine, wrapping the foot around, wrapping your hands around your left foot. Using your exhales to soften into the pose. And if the hands don't reach the foot, that's okay. Simply bend your knees. And now slowly coming upright. Cross the right ankle over your left knee. Wrap the left hand around, right hand goes behind you. Go into a twist. Come back to center and extend the right leg. Left foot inside the right thigh. Take your hands up towards the ceiling on the inhale. On the exhale, navel to spine, fold forward. Again, wrapping your hands around the foot or choosing to bend your knee. And then we'll use our exhales to fold deeper and deeper. Now, slowly coming back up to center, take your left ankle, cross it over your right knee. Right hand wraps around, left hand goes behind you, twisting to the left side now. Come back to center and extend your legs. Let's come to lie down on the mat. Once we come to lie down on the mat, hugging the left knee into the chest, right leg long. Interlace your hands around the left knee. Noticing the left glute and the lower back on this side. And now slowly let the left leg go. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest. And again, noticing the glute and the lower back on this side. And now making your way into Shavasana. Extend the right leg. Let the feet find the corners of the mat. Hands come to rest by your side. Palms face the ceiling in a gesture of receiving from the universe. I will wake you up when it's time. Wiggling your fingers and your toes as awareness returns to your consciousness. Moving and stretching in ways that come naturally. And then rolling over to one side. With your eyes closed, coming up into a seat. Hands come together, palms touch. Thumbs press against the sternum. One soft inhale, one soft exhale. Bring the thumbs to third eye center for kind thoughts, to your lips for kind words, and to your heart full of love. From my heart to yours, Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this practice today. Wherever you're in the world, have a great morning, awesome afternoon, or an amazing evening. I will see you soon on the mat. Namaste.